People. Que pasa, sapa, say what they do. Now, one of the biggest problems that is plaguing Jamaica is crime and violence. We are speaking about people getting taken out unjustly. And we know that the core of the problem is the criminals and these gunmen that are reaping havoc all over Jamaica. However, there are a set of persons that persons always blame for exactly what is going on in Jamaica. And who are these persons? We are speaking about politicians, A, and government officials. We are speaking about Popo, we are talking about JDF, we are speaking about the armed force, B, and we are also speaking about dancehall artists. Dancehall artists seems to be the scapegoat for everything that goes wrong in Jamaica. So people, who is more responsible for persons getting abused, persons getting killed, people taking advantage of the system, the money? We are speaking about the government purse, we are speaking about public purse, we are speaking about taxpayers' money. Who is more responsible? So when we talk about a politician and government officials, what is their job? Their job is to manage the affairs of the country, make sure that everything is running smoothly, make sure that the taxpayers' money is implemented for the right thing, make sure that infrastructure is taken care of, make sure that the affairs of the person, especially people in the ghetto and people don't get it twisted. I am not saying that the government is supposed to mind these persons with taxpayers' money. Me just say they are supposed to make sure that these persons are educated, make sure them get all sort of grant, make sure that they are taken care of, seeing that they need the help the most. Other persons can basically fend for themselves. However, you understand, as it pertains to poverty, that is their job. Now, when we ask the question in the past 5 decades, say pre-1970, do you know one politician that has been doing his job? Do you know one politician that is answering or taking care of all of those responsibilities without dipping his hand in the cookie jar? People, if you know one, let me know in the comment section. Now, what is the role of the Popo? The Popo is to make sure that the persons in the community, residents and citizens of Jamaica are protected. They are supposed to serve and protect. They are supposed to make sure that the law of the land is followed and that people don't get reckless and persons don't start to act up in a reckless manner or in a law abusing manner. So therefore they are supposed to maintain law, and whoever break those laws, rules and regulation, they are supposed to take them into a special place. May I talk about the big house? However, we see that in Jamaica that is not the case, because if we check back 5 decades or so, we see that persons, especially from the garrison, are being abused by these Popo. So therefore, they are going outside of their body, rules, laws, and regulation and protocol that is set forth by the JCF and the JDF, where I talk about the armed forces. Now, people, remember, as it pertains to politicians, government officials, Popo, JCF, JDF, armed force, they took an oath. They took an oath of office. That means that they are supposed to obey those oaths. They are supposed to obey those regulations and protocol. So therefore, whenever they get out of line, they have basically violated the trust of the people and the oath. Now, when we talk about the artists, and when I say artists, I am speaking mostly about dancehall artists, because the truth and the facts that when we talk about the reggae artists, they are more conscious artists. So therefore, their name is less called up with all sort of mix-up and passa and any sort of gang activity. So what is the job of an artist? An artist is supposed to entertain. An artist's job is to promote himself, promote his art, promote his music. Is he a role model? Did he take an oath of office? No. Is he supposed to be moral and ethical? Is there any sort of moral and ethical responsibility? Yes, there is. For every citizen in Jamaica, them supposed to know how to act and how to carry themselves, how to behave in a society, and basically act like a decent person. However, we have to also be mindful as it pertains to a dancehall artist. image is everything. And what is image in dancehall? People, if you are from the garrison, the more street credibility that you have, that means that the more people are going to gravitate to you. And people, I am not saying that it is justified. I am just saying that that is the way it is. And the same thing applies to hip-hop music, especially those that are in the gangster type of hip-hop music. Them have to have street credibility. So therefore, if them have some sort of gang association behind them name, they are going to be more appealing to their core audience. So the point that I am trying to make is that if these dancehall artists in Jamaica are trying to promote themselves, they are going to put forth their best self. And what is their best self? Not what people, not what you and I look as the best self. We are speaking about morals and ethics. No, they are catering to their core audience, their core fans. So therefore, if the fans want to see them act like some gangster, that is exactly what they are going to do, because it is all about the moolah. It is all about money. Money is always the motive. So therefore, they are putting out that image because that is what sells. That is what people like. And if you realize with dancehall artists, if you're an uptown artist, more than likely you're not going to bust. Unless you're, of course, we're talking about Sean Paul. Me just talk about the average uptown artist. So therefore, most of these artists are from the garrison. Most of these artists get them start or get them bust from basically getting finance from people that are in some sort of illicit trade. Because the truth and the fact is that to bust an artist, it is very expensive. So therefore, if them can get a bust, they are not getting any sort of sponsorship from corporate Jamaica. So therefore, they are going to take the money wherever it is coming from, because at the end of the day, every artist wants to bust, and people don't get it twisted, don't get it misconstrued. I am not saying that it is justified. I am just showing you the reason. There's a method to the madness. So like me say, an artist is going to promote himself. An artist is going to do whatever it takes because him understand that image sells, and he understand that the more eccentric and the more controversial that you are is the more that people are going to gravitate to you. So that is why you see people bleach. That is why you see them tattoo themselves. That is why you see them put in all sort of black eye and all sort of earweave, rete, lele, blue, blah, bling, because they are promoting their self, and there is a method to the madness. Point blank and period. So the point that I am trying to make is that these dancehall artists did not take any oath to office. So therefore, don't bestow any sort of responsibility upon them. Don't put them on a pedestal and act like they are some sort of godlike character, because the truth and the fact that their image is polar opposite to that. They are not responsible for raising your children. They are not responsible for basically taking care of Jamaica and make sure that Jamaica okay. No, and like me say, everybody is obligated to be morally and ethically okay as a citizen of Jamaica. However, we are speaking about promotion and controversy and drama and mix-up sales as it pertains to dancehall. So therefore, they are going to go with the recipe of success. We are talking about all kind of madness. We are speaking about all kind of senseless stuff. Point blank and period. So when we think about these three sets of people, politicians, government officials, artists, popo, there are two sets of them that are obligated to be morally and ethically right. The next one, they will do exactly what they have to do to survive, to make money, to feed their family, and that is what they are going to do. So when we ask the question, who is responsible for the most dirt in Jamaica? Who is responsible for all the corruption? Who is responsible for the most persons getting taken out? We are speaking about, is it the politician? Is it the popo? Is it the dancehall artist? Because people, as it pertains to these politicians, if we check back as far as 1970, even 1960, if we want to go back that far, but me say 1970, we have to realize all the sort of stuff that has been going on, all the sort of tension as it pertains to political tension. And when I speak about political tension, I am speaking about when all the things start to go haywire, when everything start to go bad in Jamaica as it pertains to murder and the death rate. That is when it actually started, because of political fiction. So when we really follow the history of Jamaica and the political history in Jamaica, it was these politicians that used to give the dance and the gang leader and the era leader the gun for basically win their election through fear, for basically scare the other people from voting. So people, where did it all started? What is the root of the problem? And when we talk about crime and violence, the main factor, the main contributing factor that leads to this is crime and violence. We are speaking about poverty. We are speaking about lack of education. We are speaking about lack of job because, like them say, a hungry man is an angry man. Point blank and period. So when we do the mathematics, we saw that that was when Jamaicans started to die at an alarming rate. That is when we saw the economic structure of the country started to go down. And that is when we saw politicians start to fill up them pocket. And that is when we saw they start to fight for power. Because when it comes to power, power is money, and money is what makes everything roll. Everybody want the money. So therefore these politicians were lining their pocket because of corruption. These politicians and government officials are the ones that basically started it all. They were the ones that basically damaged the infrastructure. They are the ones that basically put all of the money in them pocket while the economy, while Jamaicans suffer. And like me say again, an angry man is a hungry man, or a hungry man is an angry man. So people start rebel. So therefore the politicians are the root, are the core of this problem. Point blank and period. So when we check the stats and the statistics, it seems as if these politicians feel like they are entitled because they are never responsible. They are never held accountable for in excess of 5 decades. So therefore, them just keep doing what they are doing because they are responsible for the justice system. They are the ones that make all the rules and regulation. They are the ones that pull all the string as it pertains to the DPP, the justice system. So therefore, who is going to monitor the person that is at the top when they are the ones that are calling the shot? Because people, if the DPP dare say a word, she is more than likely going to lose her job because of some political, we are talking about movements, we are speaking about shift. So therefore, when we look at the rate of thievery versus the rate of conviction in Jamaica, it is not parallel, because the truth and the fact is that they get away with any and everything. So therefore, if they keep getting away, they feel as if it is open season. Them can always do whatever they choose to do at any time, and nobody is going to hold them accountable. Point blank and period. Now this information is all facts. These are things that you can Google. Jamaica is rated one of the worst places in the hemisphere. We are talking about the Caribbean as it pertains to corruption. So therefore, Jamaica has been plagued by political corruption and government official corruption from about 1960, 1970, or even if we want to start at 1980. And even when we fast forward to 2020, recent history, we see that there's only be maybe about 5 or 6 or 7, less than 10. We are speaking about conviction or any sort of scandal that basically got spotlighted. We are speaking about Traffic Gura. We are speaking about the Cuban light bulb scandal. We're also speaking about Petrojam. We are speaking about the Ministry of Education, CMU, Caribbean Maritime University. We are speaking about political parties have always swindled money and always come up with all sorts of Ponzi scheme. Now when I think about the negative effect, the domino effect, the trickle-down effect that Olent and Cash Plus had on Jamaica and the citizens of Jamaica, and over the beneficiaries, we are speaking about Carlos Hill, we are speaking about Smith, and we are also talking about the PNP and the JLP, because the truth and the fact is that Jamaicans lost billions of dollars. People even get crazy. People lose their mind because of the loss that they took. People even get them lives slapped away because they owe people and they could not pay. However, in both cases, we see Smith was convicted back in America. However, there was no conviction in Jamaica. And as it pertains to Carlos Hill, he beat his case on a technicality. After thieving or taking billions of dollars from Jamaicans, the DPP could not secure a conviction. People, we are speaking about a travesty, point blank and period. Now when we talk about the Popo and the history of the Popo that it has against garrison eras. We are speaking about ghetto. We are speaking about decades of persons losing their life, innocent persons losing their life. However, when we compare the conviction rate to the rate of people that are getting slapped away, it is not parallel, it is not fair. And we even saw that Jamaica got sanctioned by the United States and lost a lot of money through grant and are also under the scrutiny of UK because of Popo. We are speaking about unjust takeaway of ghetto youth. So people, we are speaking about a set of persons that have a bad history as it pertains to Jamaica, as it pertains to worldwide. They are always under the microscope of the world's organization. We are speaking about human rights group. And when we check the history of bad blood as it pertains to Indicom and the Popo people, we see that they've been living like puss and dog. And remember, Indicom is a group or the governing body that the government basically gave the responsibility to watch the Popo. However, based on their report, just fast forward 2019, we are speaking about from January 1st to May 31st, 2019, we are talking about 45 people get slapped away by the Popo. And even when we fast forward to 2020, between January 1st to May 31st, we are speaking about at least 71 persons that were either shot or KILLED by the Popo and the JDF. We are talking about the armed force. And out of those 71, we are speaking about just 28 firearms were recovered. So people, we are speaking about 66% of that case, there was no sort of firearm. However, them claims that it was some sort of shootout. You understand the script. So the point that I am trying to make is that the Popo, the armed forces, JDF, they have a history of slapping away persons controversially. We are talking about Susan Bogle. We are talking about Kentucky Kid. We are speaking about Mario Dean. And when I speak about Kentucky Kid, I am speaking about the Rastaman that the Popo them lick up in him car. And because him filed some sort of claim, they went back and slapped him away. Even after he posted several videos showing the Popo violating him at his house, him and his girlfriend who was pregnant at the time. So people, the history is there, point blank and period. Now when we speak about the dancehall artists and their controversy and drama as it pertains to crime, and even when we talk about the most recent incidents, we are speaking about Vybz Kartel. He was actually convicted of murder. He also lost his appeal. However, he still has one more chance, so therefore he has not exhausted all his options as it pertains to appeal. So therefore we cannot really say that he is condemned, and people don't get it twisted, don't get it misconstrued. The person that got slapped away was not any altar boy, he was not any saint. Me I talk about lizard. However, it is not justified. So the point that I am trying to make is that as it pertains to dancehall, we are speaking about maybe 4 or 5 artists. So Vybz Kartel being the most prominent one. The next person that we are speaking about Ninja Man. He was also convicted of murder and also conspiracy. However, he still has an appeal. So therefore, he has not exhausted all his options as it pertains to possible freedom. The next person we are speaking about, Tommy Lee Sparta. He is always plagued, he is always targeted by the Popo for scamming, for shooting, for murder, rete, lele, blue, blah, bling. However, up to this time, he has not been convicted. He has been arrested on several occasions. However, he has not been convicted. The next person we are talking about, Squash. He has been held several times under the state of emergency. However, he has not been convicted, not even one time. And the latest artist being Dexter Daps. So people, we are speaking about 5 persons, maybe in the history of dancehall, in about 4 or 5 decades. So the moral of the story is this: whenever we compare the history of politicians, government officials, Popo, Armed Force, JDF, Rete, Lele, Blue, Blah, Bling, and also compared to the dancehall artists, we see who is more responsible for all of the BS that has been happening in Jamaica. And people, it is not dancehall artists. They are the scapegoat. However, the real thief them and the real perpetrators of crime, we are talking about criminal, we are talking about gunman, we are talking about politician, we are talking about government officials, and we are also speaking about members of the armed force, and to a lesser extent, we are talking about artists. point blank and period. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.